now that I'm coming out of that, my ego and like my true self are like right here with each other, which is good because your self always wins, depending on how much attention you pay to her or him. Good afternoon, happy Valentine's Day. My name is Flavia. I'm here because I've been meaning to get some things off my chest. I have been going through it, honestly. There's been a lot of suppressed emotions that needed to come out for a while, and I wasn't allowing myself the space to do it because I felt like finally facing myself meant that whatever it was that I was feeling was true, which is not the case at all. Now I'm on the other side of that, and by me now, it's literally been, girl, the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I have been like crying a lot. But I think that's exactly what I needed because I tend to feel this disconnect. Like when I see other girls on YouTube that have made it or like are on the other side of what it is that I'm going through, at least I never feel a connection like that. When people do self-work, obviously it's a very vulnerable, sacred thing to go through, to post it online or post it anywhere. But because I see them on the other side, it's kind of hard to relate. I ended up writing down all of my limiting beliefs, all my blockages, everything that I no longer want to align with. I went ahead and wrote it down, and I kept on repeating it until I no longer believed it. And I was crying and crying and crying and realizing that I'm never gonna do that to myself again. Now allowing myself to feel things, now allowing my true emotions, my true self come out. Cause girl, she needed to decompress, and I have just been ignoring myself, and in return, this is where I'm at now. I have literally a notebook full of notes that I've been taking. Named it the concept of healing because I feel like healing is obviously physical, it's also mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic. There has to be a lot of things that need to come to the surface, because it needs to be addressed. The goal is to operate from a place of self-love and gratitude and kindness. And I know it's hard doing that when you're at the rock bottom and you feel like there's no way to go. I needed to let those feelings come out. Like I needed to let all my emotions, I needed to let all my thoughts come out because storing that in my body, I was storing that in my energetic field, I was storing that in my mind, all these thoughts, all these beliefs that were not true. So again, the truth does not change based on how you feel. So although I feel like I'm struggling and I am working and it's still never enough, I know that that's not true. I have my home, I have my flowers, I have myself, I have my car, I have food in my fridge. You know, it's like I have more than what I need. We just tend to dismiss that because we're so stuck in the present. And I know it can be contradicting because people always say to focus on your present and not your past or your future. Whatever we feel, we need to think greater than that because you're not stuck. We're not stuck. And even me saying earlier that I feel like I'm stuck or I feel like I'm struggling, I'm not struggling. What's struggling is my ego. What's struggling is my belief systems that have been brought to light and challenged. And now that I'm coming out of that, my ego and like my true self are right here with each other, which is good because your self always wins, depending on how much attention you pay to her or him. But I'm just gonna be going through my notes, y'all, and like speaking because I wrote down so much. Sometimes we need to put ourselves in third person so we can look from the outside in, dissect our belief system, our thought patterns, again, whatever ideologies we have about ourselves. So I think of yourself as a plant. When you need to repot it, why do you need to repot a plant? It might have outgrown its original pot. It might need some more oxygen to the roots. I related it to change of environment, whether that be your surroundings, whether that be the music that you listen to, the people that you hang around with, the places that you go. When you feel that you no longer relate or connect to people in your past or the people that were friends or acquaintances to you, get out of that environment. I put need new soil. Relate that to a new foundation, right? So that could be your habits, your routine, your goals. And I say that because a lot of times we are so stuck in where we are and we don't want to be uncomfortable. You're going to end up being more uncomfortable staying in that situation and looking back and thinking I should have changed opposed to doing that now. I'd rather be uncomfortable now than be uncomfortable in the future, you know? And then I also put when you need to water a plant. What does that mean? Pour into yourself. Replenish yourself. To choose to do better, you have to choose all of these things on a daily basis because it's a lifestyle change. You need sunlight. I put more appreciation, practice gratitude more often, your nutrition, go outside more, connect with nature. I could be barefoot, literally like in a start position in an open field with beautiful grass and flowers and just be grazed by the sun. I would on a daily basis. Like when it's summertime, I'm outside with my dog 24/7. And then I also put a prompt here, which the questions are: what challenges did you face today? Did you overcome them or not? Have you reacted differently than normal? In what way was it good or bad? Was there a time where you identified a trigger and reacted differently than you normally would? And then if so, how was it different and how did you feel? Obviously some context again, but the type of people that I attract, the people that I entertain, have not been the healthiest or the most cohesive with me or my lifestyle. So I feel like that's why a lot of my pain and suffering has been self-inflicted. And I'm at a point in my life where I no longer want to resonate with that. And literally, y'all, my prompt yesterday was, I let go of the following beliefs, the following blockages, the following traumas, the following thoughts. And I feel so much better today. I feel so much lighter. And I'm gonna keep crying because there are a lot of things that need to come up that I think that my subconscious has completely like erased from my memory for protection reasons. I don't want my kids to grow up like this. I don't want to grow up like this. I don't want to keep on going through life with the type of thoughts that I have and my beliefs, again, because they don't serve me and they're not true. So that's the first exercise I have. I'm saying this out loud, but really these are the things that I have came to understand or know that need some change. A lot of these things don't resonate. I feel like deep down we know what we need to do regardless of how we feel. It's just a matter of when we do them or not. Also growing up and realizing that the closer that I get to 30, girl, I'm not going to my 30s. I don't even want to go into next week with the type of thoughts that I've been having and like the belief systems that I didn't think that were wrong or necessarily bad, but it doesn't serve me. Like I don't identify with that person anymore. I don't identify with the girl from yesterday, or at least I don't want to, because I don't want to feel those feelings in the sense of I no longer want to carry that into my future. I don't want to go out in the world with these thoughts, and because I have certain thoughts and beliefs, that's what I attract. Like my field, that's what's attracting. Unhealed, wounded men, situations, jobs, experiences. Again, I'm not doing that no more. So the other thing I wrote down was, don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Know when and with who to share that side of you with, because not everyone deserves that soft spot. At least for me personally, this hard shell that I've had, that's not me. If you really know me, of course I have a very like assertive and I have a strong character. But if you know me to my core, I'm not like that. Like I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be tough and hard, and I don't want to come off masculine and no one can mess with me because I'm gonna either cuss you out or do whatever. Like, no, y'all, I want to be soft. Like I don't want to have that identity anymore because it doesn't serve me. It hasn't served me at all. So use your better judgment. The other thing I put is take risks to experience opportunity. The things that you want are on the other side of your fears, girl. And I know that it's scary. I have experienced so much growth and like I have seen so much of life. I think that when you live in your hometown, or even when you live at home, you're sheltered to some extent. I don't think I would have grown this much had I been at home, because I would have been stuck again in the same routine. Now I do have a routine, but I'm able to express myself more. Even looking back at things that I thought I was never going to go through, or never going to get through, better said. Things that I thought were biting me in the ass, or what I would ask myself, God, why are you doing this to me? Like, I'm such a good person. I don't deserve this pain. I don't deserve whatever. Again, a lot of the suffering that we go through is self-inflicted, but as far as the things that have happened in my life and the way that it has always been for the best. Always. Okay? That I love myself. I was very superficial. Like, my hair is done. I always have my nails done. I always have lashes. I was like, I love myself. And truthfully, it's like, I still felt horrible, even with my nails and my lashes and my hair done, because that isn't self-love. That's just materialistic things. That's things that is just, again, superficial. I just want it to be perceived a certain type of way. So you need to love yourself enough, okay? Self-love is something that takes time and time again. It takes practice. It takes discipline. Self-love is crime. Self-love is letting your emotions out. Self-love is getting your nails done and your hair done, but when that comes out of a place of love instead of lack or insecurity, it's received different by other people. Have you ever met people that are super good looking, but then you talk to them and either their personality is trash, their mindset is trash, they're not good people, or even if there are good people, they're still struggling and that's just a facade? Yes, that's how I was. That's not self-love. What I've been going through the past couple of weeks or months, really, that's what I consider self-love. Love yourself enough to give yourself that space to be truthful. Yes, God is great and God blesses you and everything happens for a reason, but you also have to do your part. Have enough willpower, have enough discipline, have enough gratitude. You need to do things too to be able to receive. You have to think of yourself as another person, separate yourself, which is what I was going back to with like the whole think of yourself as a plant, or just think of yourself as your younger self. And I have had friends that are in toxic relationships with their men. I'm always say, would you want your daughter, would you want your little sister to be with a type of man like this? Most of the time they say no. To then I reply, so why are you in it? As far as my relationship with like money and other people and love and men and all these things, right? It's like, I understand that now because all of that was coming from a place of lack. It wasn't coming from a place of love. And out of lack, my insecurities would come out. My controlling would want to come out. Not wanting, because her little ass was coming out. She was in the forefront. But that wasn't love. That was lust. That was controlling. That wasn't genuine. It was performative, you know? So I understand that now. I need to have the best relationship with myself. I need to know who I am, and I'm getting to that now. I was having this conversation with my friend the other day, and I was like, man, I don't feel like I'm a woman yet. Obviously, I feel like an adult, and I feel like I'm grown. I have everything that I've ever wanted in a sense, but I don't feel like I know myself. I don't feel like I have the level of self-love that I want to possess. I don't feel that I'm grounded. Like, that's why I don't feel like a woman. And I'm learning to love myself, either my little flowers, the things that I put in my body, what I listen to. I'm very conscious of the music, the people I'm around now. Other thing I put is express yourself, be creative. Dance, art, poetry, books, reading, researching, music, raising my frequency, aligning my habits with my goals. I genuinely feel so free and like connected to my body, and I just feel like a little bird, especially being upside down, y'all. Like, and I haven't pole danced in a minute, like a few months actually, and just that, like thinking about it too, I'm like, it's moving something in my body. Like, I need to incorporate that because that's something that I do love. And I'm gonna relate this to like my feminine side, like the soft, the person that's, or the version of me that's in the flow state. That, like, I had no time for that. I was in scarcity mindset. I was worrying about making money every single day. And when I say was, this is maybe like a week ago. Now I'm in a complete place of surrender. I have been getting so many synchronicities and so many like reassuring thoughts and things that have been happening that it's like, God, I know that you're seeking me because I'm seeking you too. And I finally am in a place where I can receive all these blessings and all these downloads and all of these revelations. Let me sit my ass down. Let me do things that I know are gonna help me. Everything else is gonna work out. If I end up homeless or if I don't have money for my rent next month, I know I can move back home. All these things that, all these belief systems and things that we're scared of, really like challenge them, check them. What's the worst that can happen? Okay, moving on. Pay attention to what you put in your body. Y'all wonder why y'all always in a bad mood, why y'all think so negatively, why people are so rude all the time. Baby, you eating McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's every single day. You're eating out every other day. Not only do you not know what's being put in your food, you don't know who's handling it. You can't eat from everybody, like people's intentions. When I'm in a badass mood or I'm rushing, you think my lovely little meals are as good as they are when I'm like taking my time and like speaking love into my food and not literally like, oh, Pepper, I love you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like that either, but it's one of those like, damn, I can't wait to eat this. Look how good you look. Like, I made you with love. Like, look at these colors that I'm putting into my body. Like, all this raises your frequency. And I see the difference in between people that eat out or they eat a lot of processed foods, a lot of things out of cans, boxes, frozen things. Again, this is something that's a lifestyle change. Of course, you can start little by little. I haven't ate meat in like 6-7 years. Now I'm starting to like incorporate seafood again, but it's because I'm listening to my body. I generally want to eat seafood again. I feel like, I don't know, it's something that I want. Seeing the relation in between food and your mood is such a big thing, and healing your body. If you truly, truly love yourself, you wouldn't be putting all this shit into your body. Especially with my friends that are parents, or even you, if you're a parent, y'all, look at the ingredients in the foods that you feed your kid. And if you were to itemize every single ingredient, would you still want to give that to your kids? Look at the cereal. Look at all the ingredients in the cereal. Take each ingredient and tell me you would give that to your kids separately. No. Right? The same thing with all these processed foods. If you really knew what was in McDonald's and Wendy's and Chick-fil-A, Chick-fil-A hurts my soul because their fries and the cookies and cream milkshake, I'm right here with it. McDonald's, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud, but the McFlurry, the M&M McFlurry, right here, that's like my guilty pleasures. I haven't had that in years. I feel the same way going out to eat, y'all, I go out to eat maybe like once or twice a month, if that, because I generally don't like going out to eat. I don't know who's preparing my food. I don't know where it's coming from. All these artificial things that they're putting on, and even like a lot of vegan food. Sometimes that shit isn't any healthier. I like, not only do I feel it, but I see it in my mood. Like I see it in the way I interact with people. So again, heal your body, because that's the number one thing that's gonna raise your frequency. I put treat your body with the love and respect that it deserves. Nature raises your awareness and magnetism. Y'all, being barefoot, I don't know if people realize this, but Mother Nature, Gaia, Earth, she has her own frequency. Just connect with nature, and it's really connecting with yourself. What you ingest, food, alcohol, substances, social media, it all affects your health, whether you think it or not. Like, not only do you need to heal your relationship with your body, but also with what you intake, the music you listen to. Fast food probably isn't the best thing to put into your body. Is it delicious? Well, that depends on what you what you deem good in the list of ingredients. It's convenient, but what's convenient sometimes isn't good either. And when I say either, most of the time, what's convenient is not good. It's just convenient. The same way that good food or healthy foods are priced higher and the least healthy are priced lower. The government knows what they're doing. Why? Because it's convenient. Is it healthy or is it good for you? No. What's convenient sometimes isn't good either, because that can be where you enable your lack of accountability and discipline. Oh, I didn't eat today because I was so busy, so I just stopped by McDonald's on the way home. Well, if you had prepped correctly, if you had given yourself the respect and time you needed, I'm sure you could have made some food and taken that to lunch or have breakfast and not be in a rush to get something to eat just to feed yourself, you know? So take that into account too. You know, a lot of times people say, go with your gut feeling. If your gut isn't healthy, what type of feeling are you going with? Are you going with your gut, or are you going with what you think is right? Are you going with an idea or belief, or are you going with your intuition? Mind, body, and soul. Marijuana. I have been officially like three or 4 days sober. Okay. I'm looking at my journal, and like the concept of weed has always came up. Like, I don't want to smoke anymore. I want to stop smoking. What is so bad about my life that I feel like I need to depend on weed, or that I'm always going for weed? I always want to be in this altered state of mind. That's because I was unhappy, and that was my escape. Now, with that also comes forgiveness, y'all. For the most part, y'all, forgiveness is key. All those emotions, all that anger, all that hurt, you store that in your body. It's not good. You need to let all those emotions come out. The same way, you know, when you're happy, you're content, and you're in a great mood, and like you can just feel it and see it. The same way of like when you go into a room and people have been fighting or arguing, or people are at odds with each other, you feel that tension. Yeah, you don't want that in your body, right? So forgiveness. I put our least favorite thing to do is forgiveness, because we feel it takes away the accountability we believe the other person needs to take. Instead of internalizing that and taking that personal, you have to understand that that's got nothing to do with you. You chose to do that because you wanted to. We have to check ourselves a lot of time. I was having this conversation with my mom. She didn't have a really good relationship with her mom, right? So recently she was telling me how her upbringing was, and she was like, my mom never talked to me about life, never talked to me about boys, never talked to me about self-love, X, Y, and Z. And she was explaining whatever she was going through, or what she had gone through. And then I realized, like, you're not even realizing that you did the same thing with us. All of this was subconscious. She wasn't even aware of it. That's why I said healing doesn't look any specific type of way, which is why they say it is not linear. It is only specific to the person putting in the work to heal. It can take me 1 year, while it might take you 2 months to heal from the same thing, right? It's the level of consciousness and awareness that you have. Incorporate different coping mechanisms to let out your hurt and let out your anger. Healing for people could be crying. It could be journaling. It could be scripting. It could look like this. I get myself flowers all the time. That's one thing that I don't miss out on. I don't care how short on money I am, I'm getting myself some flowers. I love the smell of it. I love waking up and seeing flowers. I come home and I see some flowers, and I'm cultivating that type of energy, that this is what I expect. Specifically for my man, when I have one, bare minimum. I do this for myself. You gotta match me. And again, these are little things that I'm incorporating, and subconsciously, I think I'm also putting out there in the world that this is what I expect, because it's what I do for myself. Journaling. For me, y'all, the best way to get over something or to go through something is journaling, because I'm able to put my thoughts. When I write, I go into the state of like, Sometimes I don't even remember what I write because I'm just writing, and it's gotten to the point that I have started to do voice memos because like my pen is not going fast enough with what's going on up here. So journaling, expressing your true emotions without judgment from yourself or others. And then I put cry that shit out, girl. Release all those emotions that you're hiding behind to appear strong or unbothered, because it doesn't matter how that comes off as. You know, when you're in an argument with someone or when you're talking to someone, specifically a partner, and they want to say that like, oh, I'm not bothered, oh, I don't care, you can tell when that's complete BS because you're still communicating with me, giving me the cold shoulder, ignoring me, acting differently. That's a form of communication. So use your words instead of your body, because I'm still going to be able to read it. Stop lying to yourself. If you're bothered, however you feel, like let all that out. And then I also put another form of forgiveness can be writing that person a letter and burning it after, or writing a person a letter and never giving it to them. Whether or not, and that's part of when I forgave, and it was a guy I was dating back home, through the ringer, right? I put myself through the ringer, but he took advantage of my niceness and how much love and how much I care for him. I wrote him a letter, y'all, and that's when I said that I felt it in my body that I forgave him, because I cried and I was able to give him a birthday gift, and that was his birthday gift. Me telling him that I finally forgave him. The way that I was able to heal from that, to the point that if I saw him, I was no longer triggered. If you have the capacity to have that person in your life after forgiving them, do so. If you don't do it. Because forgiveness is about surrendering instead of controlling. And that's something I also had to realize. Healing from a wrongdoing can look like being grateful for those wonderful memories today and hating them tomorrow for taking advantage of you. Again, that's not really forgiving them. That's just, I say I forgave them so I can still have access to them. And it could be even ourselves, because we think we love them, which is not love. Love isn't rooted in dishonesty and lust, right? Love is rooted in being genuine and being yourself and being accepted into whoever you are. Living in gratitude and realizing that we really do have more than what we need. It's just, that's the best feeling. Like, it's so humbling, and we really do have more than what we need. We have access to so much. The only thing that gets in our way is ourselves. It's our mindset, it's our attitude, and our actions. When you're aligned and when you're receptive and open to the blessings that the world has to give us, that's what I'm saying, y'all. Like, when you're happy, nothing can go wrong. When you're in alignment, nothing can go wrong. Changing thought patterns is not about undermining our current situation, but about changing our thought patterns to shift our perspective or reality. For example, I hate my job. Instead of thinking that, I'm thankful to have a stream of income to support my lifestyle. My car is a POS. I'm grateful for having a means of transportation without relying on others. My life is depressing. Start thinking, thankful to wake up every day and have the ability to change my circumstances. I can't wait to move out. Instead, grateful to have a roof over my head and a place of safety until I get my own space. I hate my mom or dad or sibling. Thankful to be aware of the things and people that I don't want to become, or attributes that I don't want to carry on into my life or others. I wish I had, or I wish I could. Thankful to be able to control the trajectory of my life and do for myself what others have done for themselves. You have to mean what you say too. Living in gratitude or voicing your gratitude isn't just about voicing it and then whatever. You have to believe that. You truly have to believe that, because if not, you're just lying to yourself. You're just saying that to make you feel good. And it's not going to make you feel good if you don't believe it, because that's going to piss you off even more, you know? Being thankful for what you have allows more for what you want. Again, speak like you're already acquired what you want, and it'll come to you. You just have to create space for it. Thankful I was shown the things that I don't want in my life. That way I don't repeat it with my partner or with the way that I am, right? So you have to speak things into existence too. What I said earlier in the video, the truth doesn't change based on your feelings, right? So yes, I might not have the car that I want, I might not have the space that I want, but I'm thankful to be able to be secure. I'm thankful to have a means of transportation. I'm thankful to have a roof over my head. I'm thankful to be fed. That's the truth, right? What you feel is the fact that you feel like you're in lack of. You're not in lack of, because you're protected, you're guided, you're safe. You have things that other people don't have. Go downtown, any city you live in, I promise you, go downtown. Would you change life with those people, with homeless people? I bet you wouldn't. So be grateful for what you have, because you have more than what you need. And I also put, where your attention goes, energy flows. Be thankful for the experiences you've had and how it shaped you to the person that you are. There's a difference between being guarded and cautious, same way that healed versus unhealed. The people that have wronged you gave you an insight on what type of people or person you want in your life. being able to pick up on patterns and behaviors, and it also gives you a chance to check yourself and challenge yourself, because the same way that I had that conversation with my mom and she wasn't even aware that she did the same thing to me and my sister growing up, puts that into perspective. And the amount of self-work and inner work and healing that I've been doing is so I don't repeat these same things when I'm a mom. Me and my sister were talking about this too, and she was saying our mom wasn't close to her mom. We weren't close to our mom, honestly, up until like a year or two ago. I'm 28 and my sister is 32. Imagine if all three of us had the self-discipline and vulnerability and space to be honest with ourselves. And honest can also mean hurting other people's feelings. I didn't tell my mom, like, Mom, you didn't realize you did that to us, because that would have came out of a traumatized and an unhealed version of me. Because I was healed and because I see the pattern and I know that she's not even conscious of it and she didn't mean to, that's just, again, like, that's what she thought she had to do. We also came from Cuba here with 2 kids, not knowing the language, so I know that that's a little bit harder to like maneuver and navigate as a parent. They were so stuck in being providers that they forgot a few things along the road. Relationship with God, universe, self, Gaia, spirit, higher self, consciousness. Man, this is where I'm at right now. I've always been a believer in spirituality. I've always been a believer in the universe, but now I'm just like, oh no, like I'm seeking God, and it's becoming very, very apparent, y'all, to the point that this is something I read about yesterday in my journal. I was on the phone with, I don't know who she was in the church, but she was somebody, because I was speaking to her. I was taking Kyla to a dog park, and I was telling her, I was like, oh, I don't know what church I want to go to because X, Y, and Z. This is how I grew up. I was baptized, whatever. Anyhow, as soon as I get to the dog park, I put my stuff down, and there's this girl reading her Bible. I was like, okay, God, I see you. So we started talking about our dogs, and then before she left, I was like, were you reading the Bible? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, girl, this is so crazy, but, and I just said the exact same thing I said. She was like, can we exchange numbers? And she's like, maybe we can go to a coffee shop and read the Bible together. I'm like, girl, yes, this is what I want. Like, and this is what I'm saying, when you're aligned, and when you're just like connected to source, whoever that is for you, things like this, revelations and reassurance, are gonna keep coming and coming and coming because you're seeking it. When you love yourself, if you have a relationship with God already, whether you're Christian, Catholic, Muslim, Islamic, whatever, you already know this in the sense of you serve yourself because you know you are of God. We're connecting, when we're aligned, that love, that safety, everything that you feel, that's God. He knows, or she knows, whoever knows me, knows my heart, knows better than I do, right? It could be our intuition, our intentions, our belief systems, our self-image, our actions and behavior, values and morals, self-worth, discipline, self-mastery. Being selfish is sometimes a form of self-preservation. And when I put like our intuition, our intentions, our sacrifices, values and morals, that is what gets us in touch with our higher self. That's how you better relationship with God. Serving yourself and doing what you know is best, not what you feel, not what you think, but knowing what you know is best. Girl, straight shot. You're gonna be aligned 100%.